Someone thinks we're murdering chickens.
Done. Next up is plaster these walls. We're doing them on purpose. Now, preparing our walls for decoration is more important than painting itself. I'll say this again. It is more important to prepare the walls than painting it itself. What are you doing there in general?
Huh? Oh! I'm cutting some debris off this lovely channel so that we can prime it.
Prime it with PVA glue.
Yeah, let me show you what I'm doing next. Half water, half PVA glue. Mix really well. It does make a lovely smooth paste. This is a bit dirty because I've done half the room already. Really soak your brush, and then what you're going to do, it's a very porous surface, about 3 fingers width on the outside. There's nothing neat about this job, but it's better to do a little bit too much than too less. You see why your brush ain't gonna see the other side of this? So you really want to get inside those areas, you see? If you don't soak your brush, they're going to be left dry. All the way down.
You just need to do the rest of the room.
You do the smooth bits as well. Again, in between there's really porous bits, which you don't want to leave it like that. You want to make sure they are covered in glue. Alright? And then it's ready for my plastering man, who's up next.
And now that the walls are primed, you can start plastering. Let's go. Now for this one, I'm going to use a hard wall plaster, if I manage to open it. Either wear a mask or do it outside and don't breathe. I'm not making too much because I haven't used this product before, so I don't really know how it goes. Ta-da! I think this is the right consistency. Always water your tools, but not too much. And we are good to go. Because this is the first coat, I'm going to start from right to left. Whereas for the second coat of the finish, I will go from right to left. This will definitely not be enough. Ooh, I dropped all of it. Wow. Let's try again. Smaller bits now. Ta-da! Yeah, I think this is too waterish and I'm ruining it. So I'm going to mix some more. If you're a professional, you're watching, keep in mind that this is the first time I'm using this product. Now remember, this is not a tutorial. It's just how we do things, to see if things are easy or not. When you first start something, you start with failure, and that's how you learn. And we hope that you learn from our mistakes. I had the drill on reverse all this time. Now you will be wondering, why did we break all this? We broke all this because the skirting boards were sitting inside the wall on some timber, and now what we want to do is we want them to be sitting flush on the wall. Alright, last bucket, I ran out of material.
No!
Yeah, I did. So some
You've
points...
got a whole lot of house left if you ran out of material.
Some points they need a second coating because I need to build up to a certain thickness. So I'll do a second coating there, also there. Also, I haven't left any gaps, and I will visit in just after I finish now. I'm letting it set a bit, and then I need to remove some material from the bottom, because if I don't, it will crack. As you can see, we did a full plastering around the sockets, because the sockets were installed before we had finished the floor. Now we're building up. Right. Ooh! Did you see that? Never mind, just the first coat.
The evidence is still there.
Still?
Yeah.
Still?
Not gonna comment on what that looks like. I hear somebody. How's it going? Oh, we made a mess. Wow! Oh my gosh, look at that!
Making a mess.
Yeah, but oh my...
How you doing?
Hi.
How you doing?
Let me see. Beep, beep.
I've made a mess with the water here. I've made a mess in general.
Yeah, but look at that wall. Oh, that's a huge difference. Huge difference. I'm going all the way around. Whee! And the chasings are filling. We're stopping for a takeaway soon.
Where's the takeaway?
On its way.
I hope it won't come before I finish it.
I feel like it's art. Your emotion is in the wall.
I don't think I've made a great job.
It looks amazing to see it because I saw it before and after, so it's quite transformation.
And look at this. It feels like glass.
It doesn't feel like glass, it feels like shell, like eggshell.
Maybe we can hear it. Here. Wait. Come on, right? We use the same method disclosing the chaser from the electric rewire. Now, next step is to clean the room. Well, not all of it, most of it. And then start with the cracks on the walls. And now that we have finished with plastering, we have left the walls to dry a bit. We need to fix some small mistakes. If we had plastered the whole room, we would probably not need to do this step. But of course, this is just the chases and we have done mistakes here and there. There are several things we can do with this one. We can scrape things off like this. You can use a cork, which we can find in any decorator store, and some sandpaper to fix these mistakes. But this creates a lot of dust. There is this machine that you can use, or there is this manual thing that you can use. Our preference, however, is this Merca sanding pad, which is attached to the vacuum cleaner, and it will create less dust. Yes, that's good enough for me. Let's move on. Despite the fact that this is sucking, so you don't have the dust, you still get the small clogs. If we didn't have this suction functionality, the sandpaper would get clogged really fast. So if you're doing something similar, consider using tools that can deal with dust. Done. I'm going to switch my sanding pad from 80 grit to 120, and I'm going to go around in the same way that I did earlier and try with my hands to feel any sort of imperfections on the wall. I can feel it already here, and remove all sorts of nails. I can feel this imperfection here in the corner, so let me do this real quick. Don't worry about it, I'm fine. Now I found my first crack, which I'm going to deal with. I was absolutely certain that I had bought a specific tool for this job, but apparently I had forgotten. Anyway, so I'm going to follow this crack. I'm going to open it up with any sort of tool that I might have. I have a Stanley knife, could have been anything else. I'm following the curve here, and I'm making sure that I'm not leaving any sort of cracks in between. Now you're not able to see this crack because it's a minor crack, but it gets worse as we go further down. Maybe I'm giving too much attention to this spot here as it's a minor, but I want this wall to be perfect. I'm going both ways so that it's like a V groove. I hope you can see it on the camera, how it looks like. You see this crack? We really don't want these things. Paint might cover it for a bit, but then it will show again at some point later. So better to get rid of these things before you decorate rather than later. And also, you don't really know if they will be covered by the paint. So again, better do it sooner than later. I'm okay with digging a little bit more, doesn't really matter. Actually, more is better in this case. Now the crack is becoming more serious down here, because apparently, you see, this crack started on the radiator. There's a radiator down here, normally, that we have removed. Oh, that's a serious crack here actually. Let me show you. So as you can see, the crack here is more severe, which means it needs proper fixing. So I'm trying to get rid of as much material as possible at the moment. So when we will fill it up, it will actually stick heavily. Don't expect that there will be no dust, no mess when you do these sort of jobs. You should expect that. And actually you should be embracing it, because the more dust and more mess you get now, the less problems you will have later. Spend some more time, prepare your walls, have them perfect, like new. Actually, I've seen new walls and they're not so perfect. Take your time. With DIYers, we have a lot of time. We're not professionals that we need to move on to the next job. These are the sort of bristles I want to avoid. I don't want this. If I decorate without sanding them off, they will show, and I don't want that. Yes, now it feels super smooth. All these lines, of course, will be covered by the paint, so this is perfect now. You need to feel the wall. Remove any sort of nails. You don't need them into your wall. Even if you want to put a different frame or whatever you put in these nails later on, it's better to remove them so that you paint easier and then do it again. Much easier. Now, I have reached the ceiling here, and it's obvious that the whole ceiling is cracked through this line, which is what I assume is where the plasterboards are sitting. So similarly, I'm going to open this up as much as I can. I'm trying to see if there's any sort of movement here. There is some movement. So you see, there's this sort of movement, slight movement, and that is probably what caused the whole crack, because it goes all the way to the other side of the room, and this is also cracked. So to fix this, I'm going to use some drywall screws to stop this sort of movement. And I assume there is a stud over here, because if this is 2 pieces of plasterboard, there should be a stud here. To test this, I have the stud finder. It's just a magnet basically, and it shows you if there are any screws, it will find them there. I can fit there. And it sits this way, so I know there are screws or nails here. There. It sits. Ooh! There. Problem. So someone tried to put the curtain pole, as you see this screw here. They hit the cable in the past, and then they put silicone, trying to fix it. And then I hit that silicone. I didn't cut any cables, but I thought I should take the silicone out and do it the right way. So now I did merge the cables properly. I did put some PVA, and now I need to make some bonding coat, top coat, and so on. Happy days. Cracks. Now I'm going to fill them up.
It's going to blow up in your face.
I feel that this is enough for the whole house.
Hopefully. We do have quite a few cracks though.
Yeah, but we only have cracks, we don't have anything else.
That literally looks like a cake mix. It sounds like you're baking as well.
Plop. Fillet knife. You know the drill. Hundreds and thousands of videos of how to do this. So this is our take. Pretty straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good.
This one is a dip one. So now we need to protect it so that it won't crack again. So I'm putting this.
Putty.
Now we live in the UK, and in the UK, everyone that I have seen is using scrid, this net thing. Follow me, I want to show you something. This is exactly what they have done here. Can you show this bit cut?
Ah, yeah.
They had used it, but then it cracked again. This crack is extremely deep. So I've done a lot of research. Should we use scrid or not? Scrid is elastic, and I'm not certain if this elasticity is a good thing or not. So I'm going to experiment, and instead I'm going to use tape. Now, I might be right, I might be wrong.
I think when you talk about elasticity though, our house has moved as much as it's going to move. So I think you're good going with the tape at this point.
I don't know, we will see. For sure we will see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not certain about it, to be honest. I think I can leave a small go. Oops, sorry, cut. Oops. Now, let us know in the comments, what's the difference? What should we be using? Scrid or tape? Is this experiment going to work or is it going to crack? Again, this is experimenting, we don't have all the answers, we're just exploring based on research. Now we are applying this, we're going to let it dry overnight. I'm going to continue with all the cracks. The same will happen with the ceiling, and then we'll feather it in tomorrow. I think it's quite straightforward. Let's hope we will succeed, because again, this is the first time I'm doing it.
Your tools are proof of that.
Yeah, right?
Everything was clean when you started. Yeah?
This is not deep enough, so I'm not putting any tape. The next day, this has dried out already. I've made new mud or new filling material, and I'm dropping from the small knife to a bigger knife in order to cover this and feather it in. So let's go. Big gloves. Feather it in. And of course I will also be finishing this ceiling. Alright, next day, everything is dry now. I have filled all sorts of cracks on the ceilings. Remember here we had screws, holes, gaps have been filled, more cracks there, more holes. Small mistakes that I did during plastering. And now we need to sand all the mistakes. If we were a professional, probably we wouldn't need to sand stuff. I don't know how they do it. If you use the cork and sandpaper method, this is what you get. Lots of dust. See? And after a few strokes, this will be clogged. On the other hand, if you use any sort of suction tool, then this is what you get. Nothing. So no dust, and this is not getting clogged. Okay, maybe I pushed it too much and this got a bit clogged, but it stays clean. All right, let's do the whole of the room.
Woo! A round of applause, but I can't clap because I'm holding the camera.
What's the time?
Oh, I don't know. 8:39.
29?
No, 8:30 to 9, I don't know.
Anyway, so Tuesday night we have about 56 hours to go until the furniture arrives. Will we make it? We are almost ready for painting. Almost ready. I need 2 hours in the morning. Will we manage?